I never thought I'd share this part of my life, but maybe if someone out there hears my story, they won't make the same mistake I did. It's hard to talk about because this isn't just about losing someone. It's about losing myself. A few years ago, I had what most people would call a perfect life. A caring husband, Ethan, a beautiful little girl, Sophie, a home filled with laughter, pancakes on Sundays, and the kind of love that felt unshakable. We weren't rich, but I thought we were happy. I truly did. Over time, though, something started changing. Not suddenly, but slowly, like colors fading from a photograph you've looked at too long. Ethan got busier with work. I got caught up being a mom. Somewhere in between the routines, wake up, breakfast, school runs, dinner, sleep, repeat, we forgot how to see each other. The conversations shrank into fragments. Did you pay the bill? What's for dinner? The silence between those lines grew heavy, like dust settling over what used to be bright and alive. One night I looked at him and realized I felt invisible. I can't describe that emptiness. Living beside someone who once was your world but now feels like a stranger sharing your walls. A friend noticed how distant I'd become and convinced me to come out one evening. Just a small dinner gathering, she said. I remember standing before the mirror, putting on lipstick for the first time in months. It wasn't for anyone else. It was just to remind myself that I still existed. That night I met someone. He wasn't extraordinary, just kind, funny, and he listened. That was all it took. The way he looked at me made me feel seen again, alive again. I told myself it was harmless, just conversation, just attention. But that night I crossed a line I should never have crossed. It wasn't love. It wasn't even passion. It was emptiness trying to fill itself with a mistake. When I looked at myself in the mirror the next morning, I didn't recognize the woman staring back. The guilt hit hard and deep. I wanted to erase everything, to go back, undo, rewrite. But guilt doesn't fade easily. It lingers. It burns quietly beneath every breath. When I went home, Ethan was in the kitchen making breakfast for Sophie. He smiled at me like he always did, without knowing what I'd done the night before. That smile shattered me. I wanted to tell him, to confess, to cry in his arms and beg for forgiveness. But I didn't. I said good morning and pretended everything was fine. You can't hide guilt forever. It seeps through your words, your eyes, your silence. Ethan started noticing. He asked if something was wrong. I kept saying, I'm just tired, but he saw through it. And then one night he found out. I'll never forget that moment. His eyes, shock, pain, confusion. He didn't yell. He didn't throw things. He just sat there, silent, staring like he didn't know who I was anymore. And then he said softly, Why, Lena? We had everything. I tried to explain how lonely I'd felt, how lost I'd been, but there's no excuse good enough for betrayal. Because no matter how lonely I was, he didn't deserve this. Sophie didn't deserve this. That night he left. Packed a small bag, took Sophie, and went to his mother's house. I thought maybe after a few days he'd come back. But days became weeks. The silence I once resented became unbearable now that it echoed through empty rooms. I'd sit in Sophie's room holding her stuffed toy, replaying every moment in my head. How one single night, one selfish decision, destroyed the life we'd built with years of love. When I finally saw him again, Ethan looked different. Calmer, colder, maybe stronger. He said he forgave me, but his eyes told another story. Forgiveness doesn't always mean healing. Sometimes it just means accepting what's broken. Now I live alone. I see Sophie on weekends. She still runs to me with that innocent smile, not understanding why Mommy and Daddy don't live together anymore. Every time she hugs me, I feel both love and pain. I know she'll never have the home she deserves, because of me. Sometimes I scroll through old photos, our vacations, our kitchen breakfasts, Sophie's tiny hand in mine, and I wonder how I ever risked all that for something that never really mattered. People think the worst pain comes from being betrayed. But no, the real pain is betraying yourself, realizing you can never look at yourself the same way again. That night, I thought I found something new. But all I really found was the end of everything that ever mattered to me. Love isn't about butterflies or excitement. It's about choosing the same person every day, even when life feels dull or ordinary. I learned that too late. If you ever feel unseen, unloved, or lost, don't seek comfort from strangers. Talk to the one who's been there from the start. Rebuild. Because once trust is broken, even love may not be enough to fix what's gone.